Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Arawak, or the Taino, and the Caribs of Haiti, of Antigua, of the Bahamas, of Grenada, of Cuba, of Jamaica, of the Dominican Republic, of Trinidad, of Guyana. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Aztecs and the Mayans of Mexico. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Nitigano, the Chorotegano, and the Chontal of Nicaragua. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Inca of Bolivia, of Peru. Millions were wiped out by disease. The few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The people of El Salvador. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Lencas, the Tol, the Pech of Honduras. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Chibuchan, the Chocuan, and the Cueva of Panama. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Charua from Argentina. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Mapuche of Chile. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Muisca, the Taironas of Colombia. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of their enslavement were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Guarani of Paraguay and the Guarani Lechana, Tarachan of Uruguay. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of the conditions in which they were enslaved were replaced by people stolen from Africa. The Mariches of Venezuela. Millions were wiped out by disease, and the few who survived were forced into slavery. Later, the ones who died as a result of their enslavement were replaced by people stolen from Africa.